From the moment Olivia Grant disappeared, Marcus Hale made himself impossible to ignore. He showed up at the police station before detectives even finished their first briefing. He brought coffee. He offered help. He spoke softly, carefully, like someone who understood grief. Olivia had been reported missing by her roommate after she failed to come home from work. Her car was found parked neatly outside her apartment. Her phone was gone. There were no signs of a struggle. Marcus wasn't family. He wasn't a boyfriend. He was just a friend of a friend who wanted to help. And at first, police welcomed it. Marcus joined search parties, handing out flyers, talking to reporters, comforting Olivia's parents. He knew her schedule, knew where she liked to walk, knew the small shortcuts she took through town. Too well. When detectives asked him why he was so involved, Marcus said something that sounded sincere. She trusted people too much, he said. That's what scares me. The statement went into the file and was forgotten. 2 days later, detectives brought Marcus in for a formal interview. He sat calmly in the interrogation room, hands folded, posture relaxed. He answered questions easily. Where he was the night Olivia vanished. When he last saw her. What kind of person she was. Marcus spoke about Olivia with unsettling clarity. She never saw danger coming from behind, he said casually. She always assumed the best in people. The room went quiet. The detective across from him didn't react, but something had shifted. No one had released how Olivia was attacked. Not to the public. Not to volunteers. Not to Marcus. The interview continued, but now detectives were listening differently. Marcus described the area where Olivia's car was found, accurately. He mentioned a small gravel patch behind the building that hadn't been disclosed. He referenced her phone being taken, so she couldn't call for help. That detail hadn't been released either. When pressed, Marcus smiled nervously and said he was just guessing. But police don't ignore coincidences like that. After the interview, detectives rewatched the footage. Frame by frame. They noticed Marcus rarely blinked when discussing Olivia's disappearance, but became visibly tense when detectives mentioned evidence. He leaned forward when crime scene details came up. His breathing changed. He wasn't helping solve the case. He was reliving it. Detectives checked Marcus's background more closely. A previous restraining order from years earlier. A pattern of inserting himself into other people's crises. Always nearby. Always helpful. Cell phone records placed him near Olivia's apartment the night she vanished, just outside the radius he initially claimed. Then came the final break. During a second interview, detectives casually mentioned searching a wooded area near a drainage ditch. Marcus nodded. That's smart, he said. She won't be far from the embankment. No one had mentioned an embankment. Olivia's body was found the next morning, exactly where Marcus had described. He was arrested hours later. During questioning, Marcus finally stopped talking. The helpful tone vanished. The calm demeanor collapsed. He had said too much. At trial, prosecutors laid out the pattern. How Marcus inserted himself into the investigation, how he fed detectives information only the killer could know, how his need to feel involved became his undoing. The jury didn't deliberate long. Marcus Hale was convicted of murder. Investigators later said something chilling about the case. If Marcus had stayed quiet, if he hadn't tried to be helpful, there might not have been enough evidence to convict him. His need to be seen was the very thing that exposed him. And in true crime, that's a lesson investigators never forget. Sometimes the killer doesn't run. Sometimes he volunteers.